I'm live. I believe it because it doesn't lie anymore because I don't have a YouTube tab open anymore. Oh shoot, yes I do. Oh dear. I'm okay. Okay. I avoided the inevitable echo. Mm, that's a learning curve for you. Don't get old. Well, no, I do hope you get old. I hope you get old like me because you know what? It's a blast. Long life to you all, you guys, because I love you. Prairie Queen in the chat, really quick. Prairie Queen says, Mudbrooker renewed my love of cast iron. Isn't that lovely? I think that's, in the grand scheme of things in the world, it's not a huge thing, but I think it's a huge thing because it's a personal life and your relationship with good quality stuff, especially in the kitchen. I think my biggest expenses in the kitchen really it the money went to knives, good knives. Well, they're sort of medium good knives. They're Hinkle knives. Boy, you can run them through one of those spiffy knife sharpeners and you can cut paper with them. Okay, so yeah, good quality stuff with, that accompanies stuff that you love to do. There's nothing better. What a luxury. What a luxury. Okay, don't get old, Jonocide Fathers. What's the alternative? Yeah, what is the alternative? Number one, keep your health. If you pay attention to your the body signals and all this. Take good care of yourself so that when you get old, it ain't so bad. Of course, you slow down. Your posture gets horrible. You have to pee a lot in the middle of the night. But okay, Prairie Queen, you okay? I could just ramble on like that. I'm going to bring Maggie of England on, my beloved co-host, Maggie of England. Hey, Maggie.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Robin. I've just been talking to you in the background and realising that I'm not on yet.
And you probably thought, boy, she's interrupting me a lot.
I get worse.
Hey, it's okay. Well, you're here to talk about it. Yeah.
Hi, guys. I hope everyone's okay.
Oh, Mario, he showed up. Hi, Mario. Thanks for being here.
Mario Heat, Prairie Queen.
Oh, Mario Heat.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up. Good to have you guys here. Yeah, Jonathan says, hey, Megan. Okay, so this show that we're having today, we're having a returning guest who was just dazzling the first time. And people were just going, what
a
cool show that was. And, and because of the man's knowledge, complete knowledge of, what he's talking about, his subject matter, people were just dazzled.
So were we.
well, I geeked right out. But so we're having him back. Number one, I got a gift from the Mudbrooker. Okay, we're going to talk about it, and he's going to maybe tell me a little bit about it. God, holy crap, you guys! It is just, I'm touching it right now. It's just smooth as, okay. I'm geeking out already, and he isn't even on here.
Bring him on.
Bring him on, for Christ's sake. Okay. People watching, people in the chat, Megan, I would like to bring back the Mudbrooker. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey.
Hello.
Good Great to see you back again, Mudbrooker.
Well, it's nice to be back. You guys are fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And you're just, boy, what a pleasure to know you.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about what you sent me, please, because I'm just, jumping out of my chair here. I'm looking at this stuff.
Okay. I sent her one that's identical to this. Well, almost identical. It's an unmarked Wagnerware skillet. It's number 5, which is about 8 inches across. Kind of a medium-sized one. But Robin, if you look at the back, holding on to the handle, and you look at the back,
Yeah.
up at the top towards 12 o'clock area.
Yeah.
If you hit the light just right,
I'm
you'll,
looking.
you'll see it's kind of lumpy-ish looking.
Yeah, I see that.
And down by the handle, down at 6 o'clock, trying to get the camera, there's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's because they used old patterns for these. The pattern is the form that they use to make the mold in the sand.
Yeah.
It looks basically like a finished skillet. When you pack your sand around it and take it out, and then you pour the iron in to the mold. And most manufacturers made a lot of unmarked ware. They would, either a discount brand or just unmarked, and they would sell that through catalogs like the Sears catalog, Montgomery Ward, sell it at Woolworths, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And,
it's like seconds.
Yeah, and well, they're pretty good. They're good pans. I mean, you can see that's a pretty nice one.
Oh,
but
yes.
in this case,
people are wanting to know in the chat, what are you touching that's smooth and hard?
Mario Heat.
So round and smooth and hard.
And Mario Heat, if you weren't this young, darling guy, I'd think you were an old creeper. Yeah, but.
Anyway, what Wagner did is they took older patterns that were starting to get worn, because the patterns wear out because the sand is abrasive, and they filled in the logo and the markings on the back, and they used them to make some unmarked, lower budget pans for selling out somewhere else. So that kind of lumpy area, they call that a butter mark. It's where they buttered over the original logo.
Yeah.
And it's fairly common where they change the logo or changed, a design for some reason or other, or sometimes manufacturers, rather than going through the expense of making their own patterns, because it was a skilled trade, a pattern maker, they were fairly expensive to make, they would take finished pans from another manufacturer, wipe out the logo as best they could, and use those pans for patterns to make their own, put their own logos on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, and I want to tell people in the chat, this little skillet, it's a number 5. And this is like right out of my past. This was my favorite egg pan. And you could do 3 eggs and maybe a strip of bacon or 2 or a couple sausages. And it was just perfect. And I could fit 3 eggs in there, because I usually drain off the white, because I don't eat white, because I think egg white is really fucking disgusting. So with just 3 egg yolks, mostly, I have room for other stuff on the and when this pan that I have right now in front of me, when I run my thumb around the inside edge of this pan, and it's pretty deep. It's a good 1 3/4 deep.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, and it's smooth as glass. I'm running my thumb over it. The bottom, well, because the bottom gets used as much, you can just barely. It's not quite smooth as glass, but dang, it's going to be nonstick for me, especially if I, give it a little wipe around with, some kind of oily stuff.
Yeah, that's all ready to go. You can start using it whenever you feel like using it. So
absolutely pristine. And that the rim at the bottom, that rim around the outside of the bottom, that is like absolutely pristine. It's just sharp. Yeah. Boy, this is what thank you.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's a twin to it.
Thank you so much. I have not used it yet. In fact, I took a picture of it, and I have these 2 chairs in my living room. They're like twin chairs, and I set one up, and that's where I took my picture. So it's been sitting there. I have not used it yet. I want to maybe do a ceremonial dance or something before I put it actually over fire. But the really funny, Mudbrooker, when you said have your pan ready, because I'll tell you about it. I was getting ready for the show, and I went and looked in the chair, and the pan was gone. And I thought, what did I do? So I went to my kitchen. I looked everywhere. What did I do with that pan? And I went everywhere. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Sitting on one of my chairs. What I couldn't find it. And I was going, was I robbed? And then I thought, okay, no, I put it in the other chair. I put it in the chair that's just like this one. Okay, see, there's another clue that, I'm an old fucker. But anyway, this other thing, sorry for the language, but anyway, this cute little lodge piece, had it a handle and a lid, it would be a tiny, teeny little cauldron. This is so is this more of a novelty piece, or is this a really functional? What was this called? What was it used for?
They're a little mini cauldron type of thing, mini kettle. I forget what they call them. They still make them, but you could use that'd be great for making like French onion soup. If you're gonna do something like that, or for serving soup in general, or just making one little single serving sort of thing, a little miniature casserole.
Salsa. On the table with the tacos and stuff, a salsa dish.
Yeah, I use for a serving dish sort of thing. Work good.
Yeah, but, it's just darling. It's just, what? I looked it up. This one, and it says it's out of production now.
Yeah, see, I got a bunch of those. Probably the early 90s, I think it was. Lodge used to sell their stuff just bare iron, and now everything they sell is pre-seasoned. And I got it right when they were transitioning that. And it was I forget what the department store was. They had 11 of them on clearance for $1 a piece. So, so I grabbed all 11. But I still got
way to go.
Yeah, I still have 4 or 5 of them left. I've given away a few of them over the years. But yeah, they're nice little pots to have.
Oh, it's just darling. And when I'm not using it, I don't want to sully it. I have a glass front little, like a Queen Anne thingy. I'm going to display it up there. This is just, and it's mint. It is mint condition. It looks brand new.
Well, it actually is. I just seasoned it is all.
Oh, cool. Okay, so it's brand new stuff.
I've had it for years, but just sitting in the drawer under my sink.
Dang. Okay. Well, it's going to go on display because this is cute. This is. I love it.
She's been so excited since it arrived, Mud. You have no idea.
Yours is coming. It might take a couple of weeks to get there, but
so you're getting something too.
You'll have to come back then, so we can display mine.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't. I don't remember because of my short-term memory. Those things. Did we talk about the age of this particular skillet?
Yeah, that's from.
You put a note in my box.
Yeah, it's from probably about 1925 to 1935 in there somewhere, maybe up to 1940, because Wagner quit putting a heat ring on their skillets in about 1935. They pretty much had transitioned away from it by then, but that pattern is one they used, from the early 20s, with that kind of logo on it from the mid 20s up to about the mid 30s. So it was probably made sometime in there.
Well, boy, this is a really generous gift, and you are a generous man. You guys, he can do this because you have a Patreon, correct?
Yeah,
and via that, this gentleman is able to share his bounty. And he calls it thinning out the herd, I think.
Yeah. He's such a generous, dear soul. It's unbelievable. He really is.
Yeah, and it's not only just getting this delightful, wonderful stuff in the mail. It's the education behind it. It's on. This is like academia. This is a man who knows what he's doing. He has this passion. An obsession. It's a delightful obsession. I got him too.
I love it.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. and he knows his beans. And I was talking to one of my kids the other day, and I told her, that I got this package in the mail, and she was just really enthusiastic. Oh, Mom, great! And I reminded her of the cast iron I used when they were growing up and stuff. And oh God, I can't remember what I was going to tell you. Oh, she's
Only on the grannies.
oh no, I just totally lost that thought. Okay, it'll come to me when I don't care. Okay, that skillet is older than me. I know. It's older than me. Mario Heat, the skillet is.
Jonicide's got a question for Maud. He's got a cast iron pan, but his kids washed it. You know how lovely kids are. And it's got rust. Can he fix it?
Oh yeah, that's nothing too major. Kind of depends on how bad the rust is. You might be able to just take it off with steel wool, like an SOS pad, and give it a scrubbing with that and see if that gets the rust off, and then give it a little reseasoning after that. If that doesn't do it, mix up a 50-50 vinegar and water solution in a big enough pan to submerge the pan in, and throw it in there and let it soak for a couple 3 hours, and until the rust is gone. Anyway, you might have to go overnight if it's really, really bad, but if it's something that you're using, it probably wasn't all that bad.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and you have to scrub it with the SOS or the vinegar or whatever you need to do. Give it a good scrubbing with hot soapy water and set it on the stove on low and let it heat through and dry, drive all the water off. Get it warmed up good and give it a coat of whatever sort of oil or fat you normally use for cooking, vegetable oil, butter, Crisco, whatever. And that should bring it back around.
Excuse me. Yeah, but we used to, and I learned this from my mother-in-law, because back in, when I was raising my kids, I saved bacon grease, and you used it for everything. It could even sit on the counter. I never refrigerated bacon grease. Lord, and my kids are still alive. Thank goodness.
Well, they didn't back then. They didn't have a fridge.
Yeah, but I used bacon grease to season something, especially if it got washed accidentally. When you have people over for dinner, people help in the kitchen, and sometimes they'd remove my nice seasoning, so a little bacon grease, and put it in the oven, but really hot. So then it gets re-seasoned. But boy, yeah, bacon grease, yeah, perfect. So, Mudbrooker, I see your stove in the background.
Yeah.
You got the firebox working, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I got the chimney all done. Got the stove hooked up. It's going right now. I think my kettle quit steaming though. I might have to stoke her up a little bit.
Well, do you have
to, amazing.
Yeah, do you have to stoke it up during this show, perhaps? I
should probably do it right now. In fact, hang on here.
You're taking her right back to her childhood, Mudbrooker.
Let me mute myself.
In case he stubs his toe and curses. I get it. Oh, this is great. Isn't that thing just gorgeous?
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah. What a great man he is. He's not a blacksmith. He's just got a passion for cast iron and restoring it.
Yeah, he doesn't fabricate necessarily in the cast iron. I don't think he fabricates a cast iron skillet, but he does fabricate others. Oh, there he is. He's putting it.
Yeah.
We're blabbing and he's doing stuff. Okay, he's got the. Okay. Oh, and there goes one. That's a sizable.
Oh, sorry, Amy.
Boy, that thing's gonna get that.
Got a granny. Not easy. It's not hard to do, mind. Oh dear.
Prairie Queen saves bacon grease for cooking. Yeah. Okay, that
Yeah.
was Mudbrooker. That was cool watching you just, with the hand
Yeah.
and put logs in there. That was,
Yeah, you can either put it in through the top or
yeah,
finally fix that little door in the front, so I show you that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you
Yes.
did both. You went from the top and the bottom. That is so cool.
Yeah, I don't know what time it is after our show, folks, but you will get the grand tour of, I forgot the range behind him.
Yeah, that's at 2:00 this afternoon Central Time, so you can figure it out from there. Yeah, it'd be noon for Robin, and
Yeah,
sometime the day after tomorrow for Maggie.
yeah, yeah. I know. Sometime or other in the future when she's having tea, but it's really dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're 6 or 7 hours ahead of me.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she's about 9, but then their time
Our time
change
has
comes
just
before
changed.
ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she lost it. So she's an hour closer to us. But then our time is going to change November 1st.
Yeah, it confused.com me big time today.
Yeah. So November 1st, you guys, the day before that show that Sunday, set your clocks back that Saturday night, so that you don't have to think about it the next morning. So yeah, ours is November 1st. Maggie's, so man,
Well, according to my watch, which I ain't changing, so I know where I am at the minute. It's nearly 25 past 5. But in meal time, it's 23 minutes past 4.
12, 13, 14. Wait, okay, so not 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2. There. Oh no, I'm looking at, never mind. I am just.
Yeah, don't. I've just put Los Angeles on my phone. So I know what time it'll be next week.
I know. So it's 9:24 a.m. here right now.
Yeah, and it's 16:24 here.
Oh, you metric
Which is
people over there.
4:24.
Yeah. Okay. So what time is it for you, Mud?
It is 11:24 a.m.
11:24 a.m. Okay. So on your show, following ours, and I put, I'm going to put a link. Do you have an announcement up?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I got the premiere announcement, and there's one on the community tab too.
Okay. I don't understand community tabs. I don't think I've ever done one or ever been to one. I don't know what that's all about. People talk about them all the time. I don't know what they are. Is that on Facebook?
No, it's on YouTube. It used to be you used to be able to leave a comment on somebody's channel.
Yeah.
And they changed it over to a community tab. You can post different things on there now. But I've never really messed with it much either. I've only used it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. So is that already a tab on your YouTube channel, or do you have to create it?
No, if you look at you bring up your channel page, your home page, where it says discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. If you click on that, then that'll walk you through it from there.
If I ever clicked on that, it was probably only once.
Yeah.
I could have all kinds of stuff loaded in there. Does it give you a notification if somebody gives you BS or comments, or?
Yeah, if somebody comments on something you posted there,
it'll show up.
It should anyway. YouTube's been really screwy with a lot of their notifications lately.
Oh yeah, haven't they?
Yes. Well, they've been screwy with a whole lot of stuff. In fact, our Wednesday show, we're going to talk about that a little bit. What's been happening with YouTube? We'll probably get YouTube might take us down. It's okay. I don't care if they take that show down. We have got plenty of others in the bank. But we're going to talk about that because it has been weird, and it's been, why make it so agonizing? And why let people who do awful things stay around so long? And they're talking about that big shutdown, that big sweep of all those channels. Well, number one, why now? The timing was interesting. Why them? Well, of course, why them is obvious because they were shitheads. But why not all of the other ones who have been going on for years doing harm.
Yeah.
There are plenty of them out, and they've been given a pass. The guy with the gun pointed to the camera, threatening Omni Eris's life with the gun right on the camera. Draco, his name was Draco, but he has 50 other channels. 50. This guy is a maniac. The only video of his that was taken down was the one where he pointed the gun and threatened Michael's life. All of his other channels remain. And it's, what are they thinking? Why not just, they have the ability. They know who this guy is. There's an ISP. They can track him down in a heartbeat. Quicker than that, they probably already have. So
Robin,
we talk about
Robin.
Yes.
Mudbrooker show. Save it for Wednesday.
Thank you, Maggie. This is why Maggie is my best friend on the internet and my co-host. She says, she grabs me by the arm and pulls me aside. Well, no, this is going to
And just a quick hello to Michelle, Reamsy, expanding the process. The clocks went back last night.
Oh God, I got on such a roll. I didn't even look at the chat. Look, Mudbrooker, I do apologize to you because it's with my friends. It's been a big flap on the internet. It's been a huge thing. Who would have guessed?
It really is vile.
So anyway, dear man, I'm so sorry. I just took that over and ran with it.
Oh, no need to apologize. You just don't want to burn up all of Wednesday's show today.
Yeah. I know.
Oh,
I know. I got to rein in my passion here with
got my pen.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
You got your granny pin. Oh, that is so not a manly thing. So I know you really can't wear it. Maybe stick it on your fishing hat. Do you fish?
Or something. I do, but I haven't been out in a couple of years. And I live somewhere you can hardly walk a half a mile without falling into one lake or another, and I just haven't had a chance to get out and do it.
Yeah, are all your neighbors, surrounding people, are they fishermen people?
Oh,
do you see people out there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what kind of fishing is it? Any fly fishing places?
Yeah, there's some decent little trout creeks around here, and there's the Chippewa River flowage. Well, not the Chippewa River flowage, it's the Holcomb flowage. That's not far from here, and it's a big river, so there's a lot of walleye and muskie and northern in there, and a lot of lakes, a lot of lake fishing.
It sounds a beautiful place.
Although I take that back. I did get to do a little sucker fishing this spring.
Do you do that from a boat?
No, just from shore down on a river, because every spring they're carp, different species of carp, run up the rivers to spawn, and I didn't get a damn thing, but saw a few, and it was kind of a screwy spring. The weather really threw them off, but every now and then, if you hit them just on the right days, you just slay them. And they're a rough fish, so you can take as many as you want. They kind of want to get rid of as many as they can.
Oh, cool.
And they're really good smoked or pickled, especially in the spring when the water's still cold.
Oh,
did you say pickled?
Yeah.
Do you have a video about that?
No, I haven't pickled any fish in quite a while.
A long time. I can't imagine pickling fish, let alone eating them. But that must be a fascinating process. Okay.
And another thing that's really good is fried fish eggs.
Oh.
You take the spawn out of the females and mix it up with a little bit of flour, salt, and pepper, and make kind of patties out of it, and you fry them up.
Wow!
I've never. I'm trying to wrap my head around that, Mudbrooker. Boy, is that like eating little eeny weeny French fried eyeballs?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. See. Yeah, but
it tastes kind of like a fish patty sort of thing. It's got a fish taste to it, but not real
yeah,
bad.
because it comes from a fish, obviously. But
Uh,
boy, I don't get eating caviar either. I don't get. I know it's very bougie. I know it's very elegant and expensive, and
It's vital.
but I just cannot imagine doing that. When I was little, I had, I don't know why it marked me, but I had this, I didn't like it ever since I was little. My parents had a jar of capers in the kitchen cabinet, and I didn't know what they were because this jar was there for years when I was growing up. They never used them, but I always thought they were fish eggs. So I avoided capers for years into my adulthood because I thought that, and then I went, "Oh, you dumbass!" They're like eeny weeny, teeny little dill pickle balls. Capers are, but I can't imagine eating. Okay, fried caviar, fried fish eggs.
yeah.
Boy, men will eat anything.
It's the resources he's got. That's why.
Well, I know, in the knowledge, and his knowledge is far-reaching, obviously. Yeah, okay, I got to get the fried fish eggs out of my head. You guys want to talk about anything else? Okay, really quickly. Okay, I need to cleanse my palate. Expanding the processes in the chat. Hi, you guys. I don't know if I said hi to Michelle Embry, Amy Warren. Hi, you guys. Hi, you guys.
Reamsey's in as well.
Reamsey, sweetheart. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, Reamsey, I'm going to reach out to you about the Wednesday show. Okay. That's all I'm going to say
If you
about
haven't spoken about it all already.
yeah. This is Mudbrooker's show. So again, Mudbrooker's coming on noon my time, and gosh, he's going to show off that stove. So you've had that stove for a while. I know you talked about that.
Yeah.
In our last show, but just looking at it, that thing looks like from here it looks shiny and newish.
It's just stunning.
Look,
You can't get away from it. The color and everything, it's unique in itself.
Yeah, it's a nice shape. That's actually kind of a mid-range, mid-size stove. On one of the earlier videos, I showed the little name tag on the side.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, because it says, I forget what it says, All American and a model number, but underneath it says World's Largest Store. Well, that was a slogan of Sears Roebuck. So more than likely, this is a stove they carried in the Sears Roebuck catalogs. And like I say, it's kind of a mid-range, mid-price one. It's not your basic model, and it's not real huge either. I mean, some of them get a lot bigger, and some of the old ones, especially the really old ones, are just unbelievably ornate. With all the cast iron scroll work and chrome and nickel plating and enamel work. I mean, they're really, really cool.
Yeah, and I'll bet many of them were always in the plantation houses down south.
Yeah.
The beginnings of those. Of course, this came later than that time, but that thing is just,
it's stunning,
gorgeous. And considering where it came from, you showed before pictures when it was in the back of your truck, or is that where it was, in the back of your truck?
Yeah, my little trailer when I was bringing it down from the shed.
Bringing it down from the shed, so the shed is a ways away. It took a a trailer to get it down to his living place. So like that backsplash, that was had brown stuff cooking evidence on it. Years of the heat, and it's gone. Did you re-enamel that, or is that just cleaning?
No, that's just cleaning it up.
Yeah.
There's some stains that are permanent on the enamel. Some were there when we got it, and a few more have been added on when it was sitting. I'm not quite sure what caused them. But eventually things can soak in and stain the enamel. But
it's character though. that's character, I think. In
Yeah.
sport, I don't like perfect things. I never have. There's got to be,
And,
Yeah.
I explained a little bit in the video. There's one big stain right by the firebox, where that came from. But that's permanent. That's not going to come out of there. But
And it's okay. It's like a beauty mark.
yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Who was it back in the chat? When they asked about the rust on the skillet, I think it was Genocide. Okay,
Yeah,
you guys.
he told him, didn't he?
Yeah, but anybody watching, if you are not subscribed to Mudbrooker, go over there and subscribe and hit the notification buttons, and you can go back on his channel. And the titles of his videos tell you what he's teaching you this time, each one. So you can tell what each one is about, and you can go there, and it's like an encyclopedia of everything you need to know.
Everything, food, you name it.
Yeah, you name it.
There.
And there's the cast iron thing that but now I remember what my daughter and I were talking about. See, I told you to come back to me. When my daughter and I were talking, she says she had said she remembered me cooking on those, and I told her, I said, what? I found out that I don't know anything about cast iron. She says, "Oh, Mom," because my kids think I'm smart and know a lot. I said, "Sweetheart, I didn't know jack about what this man knows." I said, "All I knew was to use the bacon grease and cook in it." I did the basic care, but I never knew what to do in an emergency. I never had to really rescue a cast iron piece because I was in this bubble of nothing ever going wrong with your cast iron. But Mudbrooker will tell you everything to do if you do rescue a piece, or something does go wrong, or you've been kicking yourself over being neglectful of a piece. He'll tell you how to do it, get it back to where it should be, and then you can fry up some eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's, some myths about cast iron. A lot of people say, well, you should never wash them, never use soap and water on them. I do all the time. You only really need to clean it as much as you need to clean it.
Yeah.
If you did something like frying eggs, frying potatoes, and there's nothing stuck to the pan, all you need
wipe
to do
it
is,
out.
Yeah,
Wipe
just
it out,
pour off the extra, wipe it off good. But some things do stick a bit, like meat. The juice will cook out of the meat and it'll scorch to the pan no matter what you do.
People don't leave it long enough. If you try to pick a stuck piece of meat off the surface too quick, it'll stick. If you leave it a little longer, it'll release. Have patience. Have patience, my children.
Any protein will stick to any pan. I mean, even a Teflon pan, when you first throw something in, until the protein starts to cook and browns a little bit, then it'll release. But I mean, even non-stick pans, it'll stick at first. So you got to let it brown a little bit, then it'll let go, and you can flip it right over.
Yeah, walk away, go to the bathroom, leave it alone. Don't fret over it. Have patience.
Yeah, the one thing you should never do though is put them in a dishwasher.
That's what did it for me.
Because they get it's wet, but it stays wet, and they have that kind of steam cycle as they cool down.
Yeah, getting the last of the good stuff out of there.
Yeah, so it gets hot and wet and stays that way for a while, and that'll make them rust. But other than that, washing them, that's fine. I use a stainless steel scrubber. A little bit of soap if you need to. If there's stuff stuck on, go ahead and scrape it off with that.
Yeah, especially on the outside. Don't neglect the outside either, because that'll a tiny bit alter your temperature distribution. Even on the sides, that's not much, but keep the outside good too.
Yeah, and when you get done washing it, dry it off. You put it on the stove, on the stove top. Put it on, low to medium heat. Let it warm up good. It'll drive all the moisture out, and then you just wipe it down with whatever oil you normally use to cook with, and that's it. And it'll be a faithful companion, just like a good dog.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, there
Really?
isn't.
Yeah. And you know what, you guys, it's number, if you're an old person, if you have cast iron, you have, it's like cardio sometimes, hefting those things
Too
around.
jobby.
Yeah, they're heavy. You know what? So what? Pull them up. You know, it'll strengthen your biceps. If that's the only exercise you get during the day, haul those pans out and put and but what, you know, do all that stuff. I had a friend. Okay, this is prefacing a story, and I'm not pissed to this day. I got over it. I let it go. I'm breathing. Oh, okay. A good friend of mine passed away, and I always cooked in his kitchen. You know, we hung out, him and his partner. You know, we were best for 30 years, and I would cook on his cast iron. You know, because that means I didn't have to bring mine, because I would haul shit to my friends' houses if I was going to be the cook to the party or the anyway. He passed away, and I was going to go up and visit his partner. We were going to have a celebration. And I went up there, and the cast iron was gone. And Bill, my friend, said, "These are yours. You know, look, his partner gave them away." And I said, "They're not here." And I said, "What happened to them?" He said, "Oh, I gave them away." I said, "Why?" He said, "Oh, they were just so heavy."
Yeah,
And I could have gone for his throat.
newer pans
I
are
was waiting for that bit.
newer pans are a lot heavier than the old vintage ones. You know, Lodge still makes pans. You can buy them pretty much anywhere that sells housewares. Yeah, and they're pretty hefty. Part of it's because the process of mold making has been automated since, you know, the late 50s, early 60s, and you need a little bit heavier duty patterns, a little thicker for everything to work out with the automated machinery.
Yeah.
And the iron isn't quite as high of a grade as it used to be. You know, it's still good iron for Lodge pans, which means the flow is different. So you need a little bit more space inside the mold for it to flow in and fill right. And also, Lodge doesn't machine the insides of their pans anymore. They couldn't do it. You know, it was a big cost saving step in the early 80s, and, you know, it kept them in business, you know, so you can't really argue with them too much about that. But in the olden days, they were a lot thinner to start with because they were using real higher grade iron, and the molds were all hand filled, and you could make a thinner mold. And also, after it was cast, they would machine the inside of the pan smooth, you know, and take a little bit more material off. So a modern Lodge, like a 10-inch Lodge pan, weighs about 5.5 pounds, where the same size Erie skillet from about 1900 weighs about 2.5.
I always had the cheap ones because they were heavy.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the really cheap imported stuff you get from China, you know, get it like at Walmart. A lot of that is really a lot heavier than it needs to be because they use real low grade iron and it doesn't flow in the molds when it's molten, so they have to make a lot bigger, thicker molds in order to get it to fill right. You know, and so even if they smooth up the inside a bit, you still end up with something that's, you know, really heavy and chunky. It doesn't really need to be.
Yeah.
You know, but if weight is a problem, you know, try and find some older vintage pans. You know, the old Griswold is known to be light. You know, even their later ones are still a lot lighter than anything you're going to be able to buy today.
Of course, getting this into an old lady perspective, looking back, I didn't consider them overly heavy when I was raising my kids, but these days I think even an old one is okay. This little number 5 skillet that you sent me is okay.
She's weightlifting in the background.
Yeah, but and I'm feeling the inside of the edge again. Oh, holy crap, that's smooth as glass, Mudbrooker. Anyway,
There we go.
anyway, so I don't think it would make a difference when you're old. It's all heavy. You know, I told you I have a griddle. I have a griddle, a cast iron griddle. It's it has an enamel exterior, and you know, it's got the lid. And they have these ribs, you know, so that you get the grill marks on the ribeye if you're searing it. That fucker is heavy. That thing is really heavy. I told you that when I get it out from under my cabinet, I have to pull it out with both hands and then hang on to the edge of the counter to stand up with it. So yeah, it's all heavy, you guys. It doesn't matter.
But it's beautiful. I mean,
it's beautiful. You know, I can't imagine. I know a lot of people have these sturdy ceiling suspension things for their pots and pans, and I've seen people hang cast iron up there. Boy, if I had a suspended rack from my ceiling and trying to get a cast iron thing off of that, I'd knock myself out.
I was just going to say that. Even just having a mankin.
I know that's disaster waiting to happen, especially here in California.
Oh dear! Someone asked in the expanding. Mudbrookers also sent her a little cauldron.
Hang on a second here. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, dear. Cool. Okay, maybe he's looking for pictures to show. No, maybe he is. If this was the show on Omni Eris's channel, we call this a tiny gay bladder break. But maybe this is a big old Paul Bunyan guy having to use the loo. Okay, dead by cast iron. I have not looked at the chat because number one, I got into this heated monologue about YouTube for a long. I haven't looked. I'm scrolling up. I'm looking at the Michelle Embry says, Maggie, your necklace is pretty.
Oh, that's my armor. That is. It's got every crystal and even a pearl in, and it cost me £15. It's got sapphire, crystal quartz, rhodonite, citrine, everything.
Oh, it has everything. That's really pretty, Maggie.
Yeah. I like unusual stuff. I don't like your everyday.
Yeah. So,
okay, I'm back.
Okay, cool beans. Okay.
Well, since Maggie mentioned crystal and things, I figured you guys would want to see.
Oh, wow.
That.
Oh, wow. Hang on a minute.
This is the battle of the stars. Mudbrooker, while Maggie's gone, could you hold that up again?
No, I've got one same.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah, it looks like the same kind of bass rock, too, almost.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, that was my grandmother's. She used
wow.
She used to do a lot of things with stone and whatnot. I've got her old lapidary saw and grinders and all that out in the shed.
Get out of town.
I got that.
You have a lap?
Yeah. Diamond wet saw.
Oh, Jesus, Meesus. Mudbrook.
That and another piece for £8.
Oh, cool. But yeah, she used to make all kinds of things. You know, she would, slice up stones, different kind of rock.
Oh,
and
wow.
she made tabletops, with you'd pour them in resin.
Yeah.
Pour down a layer of resin. She had all the molds and stuff. Pour down a layer of resin, lay in your stones, shells.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Abalone shell, that sort of thing. And then you pour more resin on top of it.
Yeah, the resin. I used to work in resin too. Oh, look at that. Okay, you guys are having a battle of the crystals. Oh.
that is the kind of thing that she was making then.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
She made clocks and tabletops and all sorts of different things.
How
organized.
Yeah.
Are you talking about your grandmother, Mud?
Yeah.
Your grandmother, she was like an old hippie.
Kind of.
Oh, I would have loved her.
But,
Me too. I love your grandmother. Rest
But
in peace.
expanding the process was asking if I have any experience with cauldrons.
Oh, wow.
That is
No, I love
perfect.
that.
Oh my God.
no.
Happy Halloween,
Yeah.
you guys. How
Yeah.
perfect.
I got more than one of them. That's an old one too. That's probably from the 1850s. That
Holy
is.
cow.
Wow.
A cauldron for Halloween.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I used to have a big hog scalding pot, which I gave to one of my kids. You know, big cast iron.
A what
Yeah.
scalding pot?
Yeah.
Hog scalding pot.
Oh,
About
Jesus.
It's about 3 feet across. You know,
Oh.
probably about 3 feet deep. And you know, it's for scalding hogs when you're butchering to singe the hair off of them. You dunk the carcass in boiling water and scrape the hair off of them.
It's 3 feet across, so that requires like a little bonfire under it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you do it outside. You build a fire under it. It had
For hours
try-
and hours.
yeah, trunnions on the side, you know, to hold it up, and you'd hang it from chains or you know, build a frame to hold it up out of steel.
D-
Yeah, build a big fire under it, and away you go.
God dang. Yeah.
He blazes away every time.
I know, a 3 foot. Okay, that's the kind of stuff you see in Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
The cauldrons 3 feet across. I wonder,
Yeah, but they'd
you
be
know what?
plastic.
I wonder, of course, Hollywood rents those things, you know, or they're fabricated, but, you know, for realism, I wonder if they rent those things from people who really, really own. So, Mudbrooker, they're obviously out of use now, or do you think small operations now still use them?
You know, some farmers still use them, but
Yeah.
you know, they're out there. If you go to like old farm auctions, estate sales, things like that, you know, people still have them. If you can find one that isn't cracked, or a lot of them got used later on for planters. And people
Yeah.
would drill holes in the bottom so the
Oh,
water would drain.
sacrilege, man.
You know, but if it was cracked anyway, you know, it's not that much of a loss.
Yeah, you
But,
repurpose.
you know, but I, you know, got one nice old pot here I got to fix that somebody drilled holes in and used it for a planter, and I'm gonna see if I can weld those up.
So it is a big one? It's one of those big ones?
Well, no, it's not big. I don't have that anymore. Like I said,
Oh.
I gave it to my kids, but
Huh.
I don't have it within arm's reach. But it's a smaller kettle. It's a flat bottomed kind of kettle.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll get around to fixing that. You know, I'm going to do a video one of these days. I got a couple other welding projects to do, and you know, I'll probably do a little bit on trying to repair cast iron. You know, cracked pans and things like that.
Sure, for the really hardcore
Yeah.
cast iron people, yeah, that'll be an education for them, and sort of like a tutorial, like a textbook, you know, and yeah, and even for know nothings, you know, go over and subscribe to Mudbrooker's channel, because dang, how far do you go back with this particular topic, Mudbrooker? When did you start talking about cast iron?
It's been a couple of years now, I think. You know,
Yeah.
And later on today, you get the full course of what he's done on his stove in the background.
yeah, I still have to stove polish it. You know, put some stove black on it, but I'll do that sometime during the week, and I'll add a little bit to my next video. My next video next week is going to be me cooking on it.
Oh,
Great!
I mean, you can just see my coffee pot there in the corner. I made coffee on it this morning.
yeah. How was it? Yeah.
It's real good. You know, Pyrex coffee percolators like that make the best coffee anyway.
Oh, I know.
And,
You don't even need an eggshell in there. They're good.
Yeah. I mean, 99% of my cookware is either cast iron or glass. So,
No, okay. Oh, boy. Yeah, everybody do that. Everybody do that. Take a lesson from the Mudbrooker. Yeah, cast. I have a whole lot of stainless steel stuff. You know, I like it. Number one, if it's clad, you know, it's sometimes you can get a good sturdy pot of stainless steel, you know, 3/4 or a 6. And it's easy to take out from under the cupboard because it's light. I don't have to hold on to the counter to stand up with it. But you know what? I lowered my standards. Doing that cookware is good quality. Yeah, it deserves all the 5 stars it gets, but it's still lowering your standards if you abandon, cast iron cooking. So I'm getting back to it. Thank you, Mudbrooker, for
thank you.
bringing me back to this. And other people are talking about how you've done that for them as well.
Fairy Queen's taken all hers out and got them out and cleaned up to use again.
I'm joining the groupie group, the fan club.
A lot of people have gotten back into cast iron, getting away from Teflon, aluminum, and all that sort of thing.
Oh God, never aluminum; it'll kill you.
So the prices have kind of gone up on vintage cast iron. There's getting to be a lot of demand. A lot of people are getting interested in collecting it, but you can still find a lot of really nice vintage pieces out there, pretty reasonable.
And I talked about this before. Look up yard sales, you guys, on Craigslist, because all of us boomers are dumping grandma's cast iron. Go to yard sales, look them up. Cruise your neighborhood. You can find them there for a song, but do it now because it ain't going to last.
Because everybody's going back to the old stuff again.
And secondhand
instead of a throwaway society.
Secondhand shops like Goodwill, St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, and that. Those are a good place to look. Like I said, yard sales, estate sales, auctions. You can get some on eBay. You got to kind of know what the price should be. But it can give you a good idea what things are selling for. But the problem with eBay is there's always one idiot that'll pay way too much for things, and it kind of drives the overall price up.
There's always some fool, and then there's a fool out there doing it, and then there's a counterpoint of fool that'll buy it.
If somebody sees, this guy paid $125 for this, I got one to sell. Well, I can get 130. When it's really worth about 50 or 60. But markets move up and down, so you got to do that.
No kidding. In the chat, Expanding the Process just moved into a new flat in Scotland, and he's going to be buying pots next week. And yes, Expanding the Process. If you have secondhand stores there, donation places.
Go and have a look.
You will find them. I guarantee you will find them. Do it. You'll get it for like half pennies on the dollar. Buy everything you can find. If they're don't buy something that you're going to have to take Mudbrooker's tutorials for, but keep a lookout for a skillet or a pan, a pot. Expanding the process. I'm sorry.
Best kind, though. You find you find a skillet that's deeply encrusted with decades worth of crud and crap on it, and you get it cleaned off, and you turn out that it's something scarce and valuable and really old. That's what most of mine are. I get from secondhand shops, and they're too encrusted to tell exactly where they are, what they are. But I keep getting halfway out of the camera. They're too crusty to really identify exactly what they are, but it doesn't take very long before you'll be able to spot the differences between a pan that was made before, like 1930, one that was made from 1930 to 1960, and one that was made after that, just by the style of the pan, its overall appearance. So even if you don't know what it is, you can tell, this is an old pan. It's something worthwhile, even if it's completely unmarked.
She's touching them again, Mudbrooker.
Huh?
She's touching the gifts again.
You can hear me rattling my pan because I'm picking it up and feeling it. It's kind of weird. Shush.
Sorry.
Even if it's something that's completely unmarked, you never find out who actually made it. If it's a good pan, it's a good pan. I've got several that are, really old, plain pans, no markings of any sort on them. I can tell they're from, before 1920 or so. But, I'll never know who made the damn thing.
Yeah.
But they're great pans. You want to buy the pan first. Is it nice and smooth inside? Are there any cracks? Is it a nice light thin pan? Well, yeah, go ahead and buy it if it's a decent price, no matter what kind of pan it is, even if it's nothing that you can identify.
Yeah, but
And you might get lucky and find something that's pay $20 for something that turns out to be worth 400 when you get it cleaned up.
okay, 400 when you get it cleaned up. Mark his words, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, Amy
Yeah,
Warren.
someone asked, "What's the oldest piece you've come across, Mud?"
Oh, that's the one I was.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
the oldest one I got is that kettle there that I showed you. That's made by Jewett and Root. They're
Oh, wow.
they were a stove making company, and it was common for stove makers to also make cast iron cookware. And a lot of the early stuff wasn't marked, but that's from sometime between 1845 and 1870, I think, is the dates. But this is somewhere in there. And then I have a old waffle iron that's 1869.
Yeah, that's it. He showed. If you
Yeah, I
look
showed-
on the last show we did,
Yeah.
I'm sure you showed it us.
Yeah,
didn't
you
you?
showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, Reemsey asked Mudbrooker, do you have any of the miniature cast iron stoves that stove salesmen used as sales props? I love this. They are hard to find. Reemsey, okay, before Mudbrooker answers that, I had a miniature cast iron stove, and it had the little flaps, and the doors opened, and there were little implements, and the little teeny little thing handle that you stuck in the lids, and you could pull them off the top, and all the stuff worked. And I had it. Okay, this is sacrilege. I had it as decor out of my garden. It was because it fit in the garden stuff. I didn't have any fucking respect for it at the time. But then when I moved out of that house, I gave it to my neighbor, and she was just, she peed her pants because I gave it to her.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah, but okay, Mudbrooker, do you have anything miniature?
I do actually have a couple of little stoves. They're
Oh,
not
shit.
Wow.
they're not salesman samples, where it's an actual model of an actual stove, but they're toy stoves, and yeah, they got the little pots and pans with them and all the little tools and such.
Oh my God, I love that shit.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Robin doing one in the background there.
Sorry.
Oh dear, this is just amazing. Thank you, Mud. I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. They're neat little things.
Oh, geez. Okay, back. I'm scrolling up. I think it was Michelle Embry that said, "What a weird show we're having."
Yeah,
I
great.
think I'm paraphrasing. Michelle, this is a weird show, and you know what? Consider the source. It's me and Maggie, and so yeah. So you're witnessing, mental illness here. We're all geeking out. So fuck. Yeah, no, I don't mean that, Michelle.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. Okay. Mudbrooker. Dang, dude, thank you so much. I don't mean to be disrespectful by calling you dude. Sir, no, dude, thank you. This has been absolutely mind-blowing. Thank you so much. And we're going to all tune in 2 hours from now. Actually, 1 hour and 55 minutes. We're going to tune into Mudbrooker's channel because he's going to do a more
in-depth
story about this. Look at that glorious stove in the background, that shiny. Yeah, he's going to do that. So you guys tune in after that. Also, I think expanding the process.
Yep.
Oh,
the chill is back.
Oh, okay, expanding the process is doing the Sunday chill. I am not certain. Davy in the chat, please. I think I've made you a mod. I can't remember, but if not, type it out. Tell us when you're coming on. Okay, okay, he says after mud. If you fancy, come have a chill over at my place. Okay,
That's
that's
the worst
Scottish.
Scottish accent I've ever heard in my life.
I'll own that. Yeah, that was really. I was trying to do it sort of phonetically.
I want to thank you, though, so much for your generosity, Maud. I'm coming on our show twice, and I can't wait to get my little gift. I really can't.
Yeah, that's a nice one. You like it. It's pretty much
Oh, I
the same
know.
as hers.
I know I like it.
It's a different pan, but
it's a different pan. She's getting a pan, Mike. Oh, can you imagine you're getting a pan?
And I will be sitting there holding it and rubbing it to see how smooth it is, just like yours.
Oh, I know. And I'm okay.
Maggie, did Robin send you the tracking number for it?
No.
Oh, shoot. I didn't send her the tracking. Well, you know what? There's not much news
it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah,
it'll be a nice surprise when it arrives. That's all I can say. I'm really looking forward to it. And thank you so much. You're a darling. You really are a gentleman.
Sometime between now and Christmas, it'll show up.
Yeah.
I know it takes forever. But Maggie, I will send you the tracking number. But I've been looking at it because, I knew about it, but you didn't. But it hasn't. All the time it gets stalled in the distribution center thing at the edge of the U.S. before it's ready to launch over to the UK, and they have to, probably goes through 10 people they really don't need on their payroll. Before it gets to you. God,
another thing to moan about, but we'll save that for another show.
For another show when we need to purge.
Real quick, just kind of a little oddity you'll get every now and then if you're tracking something through the U.S. Postal Service.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then you'll see something like, package has arrived at a certain zip code. And I saw it a few times and the zip code seemed kind of familiar, so I looked it up.
Yeah.
And it's in Minneapolis. And what it is actually it's actually a parking lot where they stage trailers. I mean, they got trailer loads of mail and packages of sort, just outside. God. They have a big distribution center in St. Paul. So they'll stage the trucks there, and sometimes it takes 3 or 4 days, before they move the trailer over to the sorting center. So to keep track of things, they gave this parking lot its own zip code,
its own
in the system. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably other ones around the country too. So if you see packages at zip code such and such and such, it's probably a it's a big parking lot somewhere near one of their distribution centers.
Yeah, well,
you learn something stupid every day. That is stupid.
Yeah, and we have our own story.
What you're saying, I mean, what they're doing to us. Yeah. How much does it cost for them vans to stay there for them days?
There's all of that cost. I call it. It's fat. It's unnecessary stuff. Okay, we have a story about the Postal Service. I ordered. Maggie and I have a set of pins that we wear for good luck on our shows. It's a set of 2 pins. The Global Angel Wing Cross.
I don't know the wrong side.
Other side. There you go. She's old. Is our okay. So anyway, I ordered a set of those because one of our guests is the creator. There you go, baby.
I've got one on that side. And Robin didn't tell me I was wearing it upside down on the last show.
Well, fuck, I didn't know. I don't notice anything.
I didn't even know until I took it off.
Well, I have cataracts. Anyway, I ordered these pins from our guest's website, and it went, the distribution center was 2 blocks away from my office, my job, 2 blocks away on Wilshire Boulevard, 2 blocks away. And I watched the tracking, and it went from Wilshire Boulevard up to San Jose, California, 500 miles away, 600 miles away. And then I saw it go back to my office that was 2 blocks away from the distribution center. I watched the tracking. It added extra days. You could see it in real time. I don't know why they're not embarrassed. But you could see it. Maggie, I sent you the tracking.
Yeah, it went down the country, back up, and then over to me.
Yeah, and no, I showed you what just happened here before I even mailed it to you.
Yeah. It was crazy. You could have got it quicker by walking over the road.
You know what? I could have, gone over to the distribution center. I could have walked over there from my office 2 blocks. I could have had a Starbucks on the way and picked it up and gotten it to you probably a week sooner, Maggie.
Dear.
Yeah, I had something similar happen with a deer rifle I had bought. It was a Henry rifle in 4570, and there was a problem with the receiver. The bolt was dragging inside the receiver. So I called him up and told him about it. Henry has 2 plants. One's in their main office is in New Jersey, and that's where they do most of their warranty work. And then they have a smaller plant in Rice Lake, which is a town fairly near to us. And that's where they do a lot of their custom gunsmithing, and they make certain models of rifle there. So they said, okay, pack it up, send it to us in New Jersey, because, most of the repairs on are, simply a busted spring or a loose screw or something, and they fix it right there and send it back to you. But if they can't, they'll have to send it to their gunsmithing shop. So I packed it up, sent it UPS, dropped it off at the UPS place in Rice Lake, because I had to go farther north from there, and dropped it off. And, got a call back from them, said, no, well, we can't fix it. We sent it to our gunsmithing shop. And got a call a little bit later. Well, there's nothing we can really do about it. They just sent me a whole new rifle. But the fun thing of it is, I shipped it to New Jersey from UPS in Rice Lake. They shipped it from New Jersey back to their plant in Rice Lake, which is across the intersection from the UPS place where I dropped it off in Rice Lake. In order to have them send me a new rifle from Rice Lake. I mean, it was...
You can't make it up, can you?
Yeah.
I've been laughing and my mic was muted. I'm sure there are countless stories about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, like Davey said, I went to the post office and posted pins off for the UK. I posted it at 4 o'clock. He got it the next morning at 10.
12 hours.
Less than 12 hours.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. So,
yeah.
Well, obviously, here in the U.S., we have better stories than you do about the Postal Service. Yeah. So, you guys, we've been on for an hour. We want to give Mudbrooker a chance to get fluffy and ready for his show coming up. He probably has to eat something. He might have to go to the bathroom. So, sir, what a delight. Thank you for coming back with us. Thank you for my cast iron. Thank you so much. You've reawakened shit in me that, I thought left with my hormones. They packed up and moved out. But people in the chat are, they're paying tribute to you.
Yeah.
So thank you, dear sir. Do you have any final thoughts before we close this show out?
Well, not really. None that come right to mind. I'm sure I'll think of something after I leave, of course.
Yeah, after you leave, of course. Well, you can mention it on your show, maybe. But
well, it's not a show; it's a premiere of a video.
Well, I call it a show. Yeah, you can.
I'll be there in the live chat, so you can watch that.
Okay, so what it is, it's a pre-recorded thing, and you'll be talking to us in your live chat.
Right.
Okay,
Cool.
cool. Oh, that's what a premiere means, Maggie. Did you know that?
No.
Me neither. So it's a pre-recorded thing that we can discuss in the live chat when it's going. Okay. So usually I take a nap after our show, but I'm gonna maybe make some food. I'm still not gonna try out my little frying pan yet because I want to make sure my kitchen's really, really clean so I can do the coronation ceremony of so anyway, you guys, okay, Mudbrooker, thank you again for coming on with us. I'm hoping we'll see you again. Well, when Maggie gets her stuff,
When I get mine, you'll have to come back. Thank you so much, Mudbrooker.
Alrighty.
You're an absolute delight. You really are.
We'll see you guys later.
Thank you, dear. Well, we will see you later, dear. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, he's an absolute darling, folks. He really, really, really is a darling.
Wasn't that
and
great?
what he does and how he loves the cast iron and everything, cooking and everything.
Yeah, and it's not only that. You know, he's just. He repairs tractors. He repairs tractors. He pours himself a shot before every show. You see him, and he'll show you what he's having a shot of that show, and
Every show.
Yeah, and then he'll take a little sip and go, okay, now we're gonna get going. And yeah, you guys go over and subscribe to him. You know, you guys, this is like refuge during this awful shit that we're going through. You know, you guys latch on to the bright spots, latch on to the people who do no harm, and enjoy yourself, have a laugh, learn a little bit, have fellowship with your people.
And love yourself.
Yeah, because it has to start there. Okay, Veronica May, thank you for being here. I did not pay hardly any attention to the chat.
No, bless you all.
Mario Heat, don't you dare mention that person in the same sentence as the other person. Mario Heat, do you need to come here?
No.
Sit down here by Granny and let's have a talk. I'll give you a cookie. I'll serve you tea, and we'll talk about that, Mario Heat. Okay. Okay, we're gonna end this live broadcast. Okay, you guys,
take care, everybody.
Take care, everyone. I love every damn one of you. Okay, bye.
Yeah, we do.
See